And as 2025 nears, Nigeria stands at a critical juncture, grappling with economic challenges, including high inflation, currency volatility, and infrastructure constraints. However, amidst these hurdles, opportunities abound for investors. Let's delve into the key factors shaping 2025 investment outlook in Nigeria. Join us for this conversation. We have Mr. Ayodeji Ebo's the MD Optimus by AfriInvest. Join me via Zoom. Great to have you on the show. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Yeah, so Mr. Ebo, it's all about using 1 naira to turning 1 naira into 2 naira at some point. But definitely, we know the macroeconomic headwinds can make that a little tricky. So, talk to me about key macroeconomic factors that will shape the investment landscape in Nigeria for 2025.
Okay, thank you. So I think it's been an interesting year so far in 2024. But looking forward, some of the major factors that would shape the investment landscape. The first one will be the FX policy, which is going to be around liquidity and stability. So you would observe that for most of the quoted companies within the manufacturing, telecommunication sector, this year suffered, and last year also suffered significant FX losses, given the mark-to-market that they will have to do, and also the impact on their costs. It was really very impacted them negatively. So what we expect that would help is by next year, if we see that stability, we expect that most of the companies that have been suffering this significant major gap and it has been impacting on their bottom line, some of these companies would do very well and present good investment opportunities in 2025. We also need improvement around stability in policy. So a lot of policy inconsistency also send negative signals to investors. So I would say that around the FX policy, if we are able to see that with some of the new, on the back of some of the new policies around the B-match that has been introduced this month, and given the stability we are seeing, if that is sustained, we will begin to see more influx from foreign portfolio investors. And this, beyond the liquidity it creates for the CBN in the short term, it would also boost asset prices also in the short to medium term. So these are also positive themes that we should also be looking out for. And lastly, that we just mentioned amongst others is that we need to see more clarity in policy. So like even your last guest spoke about, yes, we have a lot of very interesting policies, documents, or policy documents, if I would say that. But we need to see the implementation and measurement of the performance, the impact across several sectors. There's a more need for collaboration with private sector, and there must be clarity around how private sector can come up and be protected. So beyond just the current government, what are the things that can protect them when they invest or partner with government? Because when you look at the budget that has just been proposed, there's a limit to what government can afford to support. You look at the last budget performance for this year, as at August, we've only spent about 5 trillion on capital expenditure. I think it's about 3 trillion on capital expenditure, which left a gap of about 5 trillion. Yeah, so you would see that it's always at the receiving end. So if we don't deal with this, it's also the investment climate cannot perform optimally in isolation of an economy that is dragging.
Okay. And, talking about an economy dragging, 2024, we've had the macroeconomic headwinds. We've seen, central bankers, in global markets there, cutting rates, trying to bring down, lending rates. But with all of this, with all that's played out in 2024, we're still seeing indexes, hit new highs. A couple of indexes in the U.S., they hit, levels they've not seen before. We're still at 100,000 for the equities market, over 100,000. I think for the last trade, we're seeing asset classes like Bitcoin, risk assets hitting new highs in this, same 2024. So, talk to me about what we've learned so far, in 2024 as investors, and what we should take into 2025. Do these risk assets continue to rise in 2025?
Okay, very interesting angle to that. So, what we should, one of the takeaways is that even when there are challenges and volatility, that is also where the opportunities are also So we should pay attention. How do we identify the opportunities? So you would see that for a larger part of the year, you spoke about cryptocurrency. Before the emergence of the President-elect Trump, the cryptocurrency has just been up and down, and before we saw that major rally. Even for the US market, it's for some of the stock would have to be when you look at even the ETF, that Vanguard 500 that measured the top 500 companies have gained about 20% this year alone. So that still it presents opportunities, but there will still be volatility. So entry time and exit time for investors, if you are not the long-term, you need to have your exit plan when you come in. You understand your investment strategy. When you see stocks, so you look at the likes of even Apple shares, Tesla, they got to almost an all-time high, and before they also reversed. So investors, if you have to maybe split your portfolio, have the short-term portfolio and have the long-term. For the long-term, whether it's going up and down, you continue to average down on those ones. And for those that are short-term, when you see that you made significant upside, there are stocks that people have gained even this year close to 500%, both on the New York Stock Exchange as well as the Nigerian exchange. How did investor react? For those that are smart investors, when they see that they reach a very significant upside, they take profit and look for the next opportunity. So these are some of the takeaways that I think next year will be more volatile. If we take a record of during the last administration of President Trump, there was a lot of volatility in the markets. That doesn't mean market may not still go upside, but you need to be able to time the market. That would be very important. And coming to Nigeria, we believe that there are still very specific sectors that would still be very defensive and do very well next year.
Right. All right. Talk to me about trading trends in 2024. How are investors buying, stocks in Nigeria? Are they using more of the apps, or was it, the regular way through, meeting of the stockbroker? Because I know now the youths are big on, apps, for buying stocks and all of that. How would you describe adoption this year?
I would say it's been very impressive, because even for us, with looking at our Afro Investor app and the Optimus app, the interest, because of the ease of the ability to execute trades on your own, you're able to see the market, you see the bid, you see those that are trying to buy, you see those that are trying to sell, and you're able to set your limit. You think you are comfortable to buy at a particular price. So that has created a lot of interest. So measuring that interest even for our own, we doubled in terms of sign-ups, doubled this year, which we think that is going to be the trend going forward. For the younger ones, they don't want sending mandates and waiting for what is going on in the market. Some of them are paying good attention to the market. They understand technicals, and they just need a bit of support on the fundamentals, and they know they are able to use some of the experiences in cryptocurrency and their FX trading to also come and see how they are able to well time the market. So we think that would continue to improve. We feel the regulators also are providing that support and that encouragement. So as what I think we need to add on top of that next year is providing data and investor education. Right. So when you look at percentage, it's still less than 1% of the economy that still invests in the stock market. So there's still a lot of opportunities in that space. But before that can improve, you compare to the US market where you can go on likes of the Yahoo Finance, Google Finance, get data, free data to understand the stock you're investing. The Nigerian market, you pay a lot to even access that data. So there's a lot that needs to still be done on that for us to attract more people. But I can say that categorically that it's been very positive. The adoption has been very encouraging.
All right, we'll keep tracking to see how it grows for 2025. Thank you so much. It was great having you, Mr. Ayodeji. Mr. Ebo is the MD Optimus by AfriInvest. Thank you so much. All righty then, so we'll give you a summary of what's playing out. Major markets that we track, that's at 1 p.m. on Business Incorporated. Inijomekwa will be here for that. Thank you so much for watching. That's it from me on Business Morning. I'm Ladi Williams. I hand things over to the Sunrise Daily team.